This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley.
Good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Tuesday, August 19th of 2025. We are so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, we'll be wrapping up some of our state fair coverage as Andy Peterson talks with the Iowa Foundation for Agricultural Advancement scholarship winner, Megan Clark. Of course, we had that scholarship this year, as always. Great opportunity to visit with her. We'll also have a check of the closing markets with Ethan Robson of agmarket.net. But first up, here's Andy with our scholarship winner for this year. Take it away, Andy.
Proud once again to support the Iowa Foundation for Agricultural Advancement, and we'll introduce you to our scholarship winner here. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself from Eastern Iowa and DeWitt,
Correct.
which I like to hear. Our home area too.
Absolutely, yeah. My name is Megan Clark. I'm going to be a senior this fall at Iowa State University studying Ag Communications, International Agriculture, and then have a minor in Animal Science. Like you said, grew up around the Grand Mountain area in Eastern Iowa and grew up showing beef cattle. So also had my family exhibit some beef cattle earlier this week at the state fair, and it's been a great state fair so far. So thank you for your support with the scholarship. It's
Absolutely.
Been a great day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You mentioned family row crop farmer, so has that helped you guide down your career path a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So grew up on my family's row crop farm, corn and soybeans, and then have a small beef cattle herd. So I've always kind of been involved with agriculture, and that's what sparked me wanting to study it in school. That's been really interesting to continue learning about, even off the farm. It's been a little different living in town versus growing up on the farm. You miss different aspects of it every now and then, but really probably from showing cattle growing up and getting to kind of be responsible for my own herd is where I really have enjoyed getting to learn over the last however many years.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Communications can come in a lot of different forms.
Absolutely.
So you'll be a senior. Do you kind of have an idea of what you want to do a year from now?
Absolutely. So I've done a lot of different internships over the years. So I was a communications intern with the National Pork Producers Council. I worked for Angus Media last summer as an editorial intern writing for the Angus Journal. And then this past summer, I worked as a sales intern for Merck Animal Health. So all kind of communication in different aspects, but I really enjoyed the sales internship, but I still freelance for the Angus Journal. So take some pictures on the side. And I have MC Photography, which is my photography business. So I enjoy doing that, but I would really hone in probably on the photography and then livestock publication. I really enjoy those routes.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that you had your own herd at one point too, still do maybe?
Well, so I just got out of showing about 22, and some of those cows are getting kind of old, so the herd is dwindling down. But yeah, still have a few, and then have quite a few with my parents. Like we all kind of work together on the farm with them.
So you want to stay in Iowa, I would imagine, somewhere close to home? Yeah, that's
the plan. Yep, I was 10 hours away this summer for an internship, and I enjoyed it, but it was kind of far from home. I really like living in Iowa, so I'd like to stay probably central Iowa or eastern Iowa at some point in time.
What did you learn growing up showing?
Oh, so you learn so many different things growing up showing. I would say the biggest things that I learned are responsibility, leadership, and really just more about the beef industry in general. So responsibility, I mean, especially in those summer months, you're having early mornings, getting calves into a cooler, working hair, rinsing them, and working with them twice a day. You don't really get to go out and do all the fun things with your friends at nighttime because you're back home in the barn letting them out of the cooler at 9 o'clock at night. It's such a big time commitment that you also learn a lot of time management. So I would say a big one is responsibility and leadership. Just having the chance to get involved with 4-H and FFA throughout showing cattle was a huge thing that built my leadership skills, I would say. And then ultimately just more about the beef industry. I mean, going to state fair, having the chance to educate fairgoers that have questions and things like that, just about the beef industry in general. Learned so many things throughout showing cattle. I'm sure I could rattle off 1,000 more. But
well, best of luck in your last year at Iowa State. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks to the IFAA for allowing us to have this opportunity to support ag education in the state of Iowa. We'll have a check of the closing markets next, but first, here's a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and it's time now to take a look at the closing market summary with Ethan Robson of agmarket.net. First off, Ethan, what do we see going on in the grain markets today?
Yeah, a little bit of a weaker tone to start off this morning. Decent corn yesterday into this morning ran up against some resistance, 20-day moving average. Hit that late last night and then ever since sold off. You add that with new life of contract lows with wheat that has some corn market down about 3 to 4 cents across the board today.
And then as we look at kind of this new marketing week, last week being so busy, right now, are we kind of shifting back to that weather market, especially as we kind of take a look at pod fill for the soybeans, as well as that Pro Farmer Crop Tour looking at crop conditions?
Exactly. Yeah. Big market mover this week, and kind of paying attention is that Pro Farmer Crop Tour. Reports so far, they released the South Dakota and Ohio results later this morning. Pretty good results. Both Ohio and South Dakota corn yield were up year over year and well above their 3-year averages. Same with the soybean pods as well. So Ohio was up as well, and South Dakota. So far, no complaints. Seeing stuff a little bit on social media with the tour. Nebraska, parts of Illinois and Indiana, a little bit disappointing according to some results, but it's going to be interesting to see once they publish those results later this afternoon what they truly find out.
And then over on the livestock side of things, how did cattle and hogs trade today?
Yeah, it's the same story week over week. Cattle continues to make new record highs. Tight fundamentals continue to run the story. It's important to have proper risk management because even just a 10% pullback can be a pretty big deal, going to $30. And so just important to stay disciplined, have risk management. Hogs within itself trading right up against the 10 and 20-day moving average. So would like to see a little bit more out of that before we get too excited.
And then, of course, we're looking at the demand picture. Demand has been good for the summer months, but we are actually approaching that Labor Day holiday coming up, which marks the unofficial end of the summer and kind of the end of that demand period. How do the markets kind of position themselves ahead of the end of that demand?
Exactly. So it's important for livestock producers just to keep that in mind with proper demand pictures coming into Labor Day. And so just having proper risk management, whether that's put options, LRP, something to have that floor in place where you can still participate in the potential upside, but in case demand does pull back, you're protected.
All right, Ethan, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch with the team at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Yeah, visit us online, agmarket.net. Give our trial a shot. Good way to see all the intel in our My Farm software. Want to get a hold of us in here, Bloomington Normal, give us a call, 1-800-779-1515.
All right, thanks again for your time as always, Ethan, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
That again was Ethan Robson of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how the numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com. At the close, September corn down 3.5 at 379.5. September soybeans down 7 3/4 at 10.13 even. September soybean meal up 7 even at 287.40. September soybean oil down $1.59 at 51.68. Chicago wheat down 4 1/4 at 498.5. Kansas City hard red wheat down 6 3/4 at 499.5. Minneapolis spring wheat up 1 1/4 at 569 even. September oats down 6 even at 331 even. On the Merck, October live cattle up 17.5 at 231.35. September feeders up $1.50 at 352.42.5. October lean hogs up 2.5 at 90.15. Pork cutout went unchanged at 102.22, and September class 3 milk up 10 cents at 18.86. That's been checking the markets here on Ag Matters PM, and that also brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. Also follow us on social media at Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and TikTok. and find our video content as well as previous episodes of AM PM on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Don't forget as well to check out our free morning, midday, and closing market podcast, as well as the Iowa Ag Matters podcast and Pods Potential. Find those on your favorite podcasting services at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson, Andy Peterson, and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.